If this message has found you today, pause and recognize what that truly means. It is not random. It is not by chance. You are not here by mistake. This is a divine confirmation, one that transcends the digital space and reaches into the spiritual fabric of your life. This message has been crafted with intentional energy, designed for a specific frequency, yours. It has come to you as a whisper from the universe, a signal from God, affirming that you are not only ready for what's next, you are already standing at the edge of it. This moment is sacred. It is heavy with destiny. And it demands that you pay attention, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Right now, you are being invited into the truth of a spiritual law that does not wait for the perfect circumstances, the right connections, or the most ideal financial setup. It is the law of assumption. A law that does not deal with probabilities or logical outcomes, but one that works purely with belief. What you assume in your mind and heart as already being true, becomes true in your life. Not because you manipulate reality, but because your soul aligns with the truth of who you already are. And the moment you accept that alignment, the outer world has no choice but to follow. So here is the bold and holy declaration being placed before you: you are about to become a millionaire. Not eventually. Not someday. But now. The moment you decide it, fully believe it, and embody it, the entire structure of your reality will shift to match that frequency. This isn't just a motivational statement. It's not simply a catchy line. This is a prophetic affirmation, wrapped in the vibration of truth. And if your spirit is awake, it already feels it stirring. Ask yourself, how many times have you prayed, hoped, or waited for a sign? What if this is it? What if this moment is the intersection between who you've been and who you were always meant to become? The timing is not a coincidence. It's precise. It's divine. It's been orchestrated from above for your eyes, your ears, and your heart. The quiet dreams you've whispered at night, the vision you've carried in your soul when no one else could see it, this message is heaven's response. A personal reply. A sacred reminder. But let's be clear, this is not just another video meant to inspire and fade away. This is a spiritual rampage. That means every word spoken here is intentionally designed to uproot old mental patterns, challenge every lie of limitation, and replace them with affirmations soaked in divine truth. This is about saturation, repetition, reprogramming. You are not being motivated, you are being realigned. This is the moment your subconscious begins to shed doubt and embrace a new identity. The millionaire version of yourself that has always existed in the mind of God. And now, it's time to say yes to that identity. Not as a wish. Not as a fantasy. But as your new reality. As Romans 12 verse 2 teaches, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is what the law of assumption actually requires, not struggle, but surrender. Not striving, but spiritual alignment. The minute you stop praying like a beggar and start declaring like an heir, the gates of abundance open. You are not asking for wealth, you are reclaiming it. You are not hoping to be chosen, you are remembering that you already are. And if this message is resonating with you deeply, if something in your chest feels seen, known, called, then you are among the chosen ones. Not because of your background, your bank account, or your current circumstances, but because your spirit is in alignment with this frequency. You feel it. You've always felt it. Even in your lowest moments, you've known that something greater was pulling you forward. And now you're beginning to understand why. This message may not be for everyone. Some will scroll past it. Some will reject it because they still believe in a smaller version of themselves. That's okay. But those who are truly chosen, those whose spirits are ready, will stay. They will hear. They will receive. And they will declare. Because something this holy does not need to convince, it only needs to confirm. You either recognize your calling, or you don't. And if you do, then act like it. That's why right now, I invite you to take your first action of faith. Not just an interaction with a video, but a declaration with the universe. Like this video, not for the algorithm, but to anchor your agreement. Subscribe to this channel, not just for updates, but for consistent alignment. And in the comments below, write 77 as your signal to God, to the universe, and to yourself: I accept my abundance. I embrace my millionaire destiny. I no longer wait. I declare it done. The more you replay this message, the more it will embed itself in your spirit. Because faith comes by hearing, and hearing again. This is not about hyping yourself up, it's about saturating your subconscious with the vibration of your future self. It's about replacing doubt with certainty, lack with abundance, and delay with decision. So let the words sink in. Let the presence of God move through you. Let this message be your reminder: you are not far from your breakthrough, you are on the very edge of it. And once you decide to cross that threshold, nothing can stop the wealth that's already rushing to meet you. It is already done. You are already rich. You are already chosen. Now breathe that in. Feel the shift taking place. And stay with us, because what comes next will show you how to fully walk in this new identity and unlock the flow of abundance that's already been written in your name. Let's step into it together. Dui de la fan mo by hon chin, duak viet lai dai han, bam sat tuet doi content gok. Van phong duak jung gwin tin trang niyam, kam suk va jiao tin tom lin, dong goi su dung hu an mo neo de trian teep myup ma sang fan teep theo. If this message has found you today, pause and recognize what that truly means. It is not random. It is not by chance. You are not here by mistake. This is a divine confirmation, one that transcends the digital space and reaches into the spiritual fabric of your life. This message has been crafted with intentional energy, designed for a specific frequency, yours. It has come to you as a whisper from the universe, a signal from God, affirming that you are not only ready for what's next, you are already standing at the edge of it. This moment is sacred. It is heavy with destiny. And it demands that you pay attention, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Right now, you are being invited into the truth of a spiritual law that does not wait for the perfect circumstances, the right connections, or the most ideal financial setup. It is the law of assumption. A law that does not deal with probabilities or logical outcomes, but one that works purely with belief. What you assume in your mind and heart as already being true, becomes true in your life. Not because you manipulate reality, but because your soul aligns with the truth of who you already are. And the moment you accept that alignment, the outer world has no choice but to follow. So here is the bold and holy declaration being placed before you: you are about to become a millionaire. Not eventually. Not someday. But now. The moment you decide it, fully believe it, and embody it, the entire structure of your reality will shift to match that frequency. This isn't just a motivational statement. It's not simply a catchy line. This is a prophetic affirmation, wrapped in the vibration of truth. And if your spirit is awake, it already feels it stirring. Ask yourself, how many times have you prayed, hoped, or waited for a sign? What if this is it? What if this moment is the intersection between who you've been and who you were always meant to become? The timing is not a coincidence. It's precise. It's divine. It's been orchestrated from above for your eyes, your ears, and your heart. The quiet dreams you've whispered at night, the vision you've carried in your soul when no one else could see it, this message is heaven's response. A personal reply. A sacred reminder. But let's be clear, this is not just another video meant to inspire and fade away. This is a spiritual rampage. That means every word spoken here is intentionally designed to uproot old mental patterns, challenge every lie of limitation, and replace them with affirmations soaked in divine truth. This is about saturation, repetition, reprogramming. You are not being motivated, you are being realigned. This is the moment your subconscious begins to shed doubt and embrace a new identity. The millionaire version of yourself that has always existed in the mind of God. And now, it's time to say yes to that identity. Not as a wish. Not as a fantasy. But as your new reality. As Romans 12 verse 2 teaches, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is what the law of assumption actually requires, not struggle, but surrender. Not striving, but spiritual alignment. The minute you stop praying like a beggar and start declaring like an heir, the gates of abundance open. You are not asking for wealth, you are reclaiming it. You are not hoping to be chosen, you are remembering that you already are. And if this message is resonating with you deeply, if something in your chest feels seen, known, called, then you are among the chosen ones. Not because of your background, your bank account, or your current circumstances, but because your spirit is in alignment with this frequency. You feel it. You've always felt it. Even in your lowest moments, you've known that something greater was pulling you forward. And now you're beginning to understand why. This message may not be for everyone. Some will scroll past it. Some will reject it because they still believe in a smaller version of themselves. That's okay. But those who are truly chosen, those whose spirits are ready, will stay. They will hear. They will receive. And they will declare. Because something this holy does not need to convince, it only needs to confirm. You either recognize your calling, or you don't. And if you do, then act like it. That's why right now, I invite you to take your first action of faith. Not just an interaction with a video, but a declaration with the universe. Like this video, not for the algorithm, but to anchor your agreement. Subscribe to this channel, not just for updates, but for consistent alignment. Let's grow this movement to 5,000 souls walking in millionaire faith together. And in the comments below, write 77 as your signal to God, to the universe, and to yourself. I accept my abundance. I embrace my millionaire destiny. I no longer wait. I declare it done. The more you replay this message, the more it will embed itself in your spirit. Because faith comes by hearing, and hearing again. This is not about hyping yourself up, it's about saturating your subconscious with the vibration of your future self. It's about replacing doubt with certainty, lack with abundance, and delay with decision. So let the words sink in. Let the presence of God move through you. Let this message be your reminder, you are not far from your breakthrough, you are on the very edge of it. And once you decide to cross that threshold, nothing can stop the wealth that's already rushing to meet you. It is already done. You are already rich. You are already chosen. Now breathe that in. Feel the shift taking place. And stay with us, because what comes next will show you how to fully walk in this new identity and unlock the flow of abundance that's already been written in your name. Chosen one, let this truth settle into your soul, you are not on your way to becoming a millionaire. You already are. Not someday. Not eventually. But now. The sooner you claim this truth as your own, the sooner your world will reflect it back to you. This is not just a mindset shift, it is a spiritual realignment, a profound declaration of your identity that uproots the old patterns of striving and replaces them with the frequency of arrival. The moment you say, I am already a millionaire, you step out of the illusion of delay and into the authority of divine timing. The law of assumption makes this clear, what you assume to be true, your life will shape itself around. This is not about wishful thinking or blind optimism. This is a law, spiritual, unshakable, and deeply aligned with how the universe functions. You don't manifest wealth by hoping for it. You manifest it by assuming that it's already done. You don't wait for evidence, you create it. And the seed of that evidence is belief. So ask yourself right now, what reality are you assuming? Because if you're walking through life constantly repeating, I'm trying to become wealthy, you're creating a loop. A never-ending journey of trying, but never arriving. The universe, in its precision, will match your energy exactly. It will keep you on the path of pursuit, not the state of possession. But when you shift, when you declare, I am wealthy now, everything changes. the external begins to catch up with the internal. The reflection in the mirror of life begins to match the image you hold in your heart. This isn't just spiritual theory. It is rooted in the very Word of God. Mark 11 verse 24 doesn't say, "Believe that you will receive." It says, "Believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." That's the law of assumption, spoken straight from the mouth of Jesus. You don't wait until you see it to believe it. You believe first, then you see. This is the faith that moves mountains. This is the conviction that aligns your soul with divine order. And Proverbs 23 verse 7 reminds us of another critical truth: as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as his circumstances appear, not as others see him, but as he thinks in the deep places of his soul. What you truly believe about yourself, beneath the surface, determines who you become. So what do you believe about yourself? Are you still carrying the identity of someone who's just getting by? Or have you accepted the identity of someone who was born to live in overflow? This is why the content urges you to speak this truth out loud: I am a millionaire. It is done. Don't just think it. Declare it. Say it with certainty. Say it with boldness. Say it until your body feels it, until your heart believes it, until your world begins to echo it back to you. These are not empty words. These are keys. Declarations like these unlock spiritual gates. They rewire your subconscious mind, shift your energy, and command your environment to follow suit. Every time you say it, every time you replay this message, you are imprinting that reality deeper into your spirit. This is not hype. This is not repetition for the sake of memory. This is energetic calibration. You are saturating your subconscious with a new frequency, the frequency of already having, already being, already walking in the abundance that was promised to you before the foundation of the world. And here is the most beautiful part: the universe does not resist this belief. In fact, it welcomes it. When you assume your wealth as a present reality, the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself in response. It's not about deserving. It's about alignment. It's not about luck. It's about vibration. What you believe, you receive. What you embody, you attract. The wealth isn't hiding. It's simply waiting for you to step into the version of yourself who can hold it, manage it, bless others with it. Let that truth sink in: your wealth is not coming, it's already here. The only missing link is your belief. Not the kind of belief that wavers in hard times, but the kind that stands firm even when your bank account hasn't caught up yet. The kind of belief that says, I am no longer available for anything less than overflow. The kind of belief that lets heaven and earth know you are ready. So if this message resonates with your spirit, if something inside you knows this is more than just words, then make a choice today. Choose to stop living in maybe. Choose to stop speaking someday. Choose instead to declare now. Live from that place. Speak from that place. Decide from that place. And watch how the world around you begins to honor the energy you're finally walking in. And yes, replay this video. Let it wash over you like a spiritual reset. Let it sink in deeper with every listen. Let it become your daily rhythm, your inner chant, your morning prayer. The more you hear it, the more it becomes familiar. The more it becomes familiar, the more your mind stops resisting. And the moment your subconscious accepts it, the external cannot help but follow. That's the law of assumption. That's the promise of Proverbs. That's the truth of your identity. Because chosen one, you're not waiting to become a millionaire. You already are. It's done. Now live like it. And as this belief takes root in you, it's time to explore what it truly means to embody this identity, to walk, speak, and decide as one who already possesses it all. Let's now move into that revelation. Let's discover what it means to live every single day with the mindset of someone who has already arrived. Think millionaire waiting. Chosen one, there's a powerful truth you must now embrace. Declaring, I am a millionaire, is a sacred beginning, but it is not the full transformation. Words are the first spark, but embodiment is the fire that sustains the reality. Saying it is one thing. Living it is another. The true shift happens not in what you say once, but in what you consistently feel, think, and act upon. Embodying the millionaire mindset means aligning your inner world so completely that wealth becomes not something you chase, but something you express effortlessly. This is where the law of assumption moves from theory into practice. It's no longer just about what you hope for in moments of inspiration. It's about what you assume and reflect every hour of the day. The universe doesn't just hear your affirmations, it responds to your frequency. If your energy says, "I am already living in overflow," then all things must arrange themselves to support that vibration. But if your energy still says, "I'm not there yet," then the universe will simply echo back your delay. So what does it mean to truly embody this identity? It means you wake up with certainty. You walk with confidence. You make decisions rooted not in fear, but in vision. You treat your time, your resources, and your relationships as if they already exist within the framework of abundance. You don't wait for the money to show up in your bank account before you feel abundant. You feel abundant first, and then the money flows to match that inner state. It's a practice of deep inner congruence. Your thoughts must affirm what your mouth speaks. Your emotions must support what your mind believes. Your actions must align with the truth you're now living. This is what it means to walk in harmony with the millionaire identity. You're not playing a role. You're aligning with a version of you that's already real in the spiritual realm. One of the most potent forces in this process is gratitude. Not gratitude as a reaction to having received, but gratitude as the frequency that brings the receiving into reality. When you start each day thankful not for what's coming, but for what's already yours in the unseen, you elevate your vibration to match that of miraculous manifestation. Gratitude, certainty, trust, these are the three pillars of energetic wealth. And when you operate from this space, doors begin to open in ways you never imagined. Let's make this clear. There is a vast difference between wishing for wealth and living as though you already have it. Wishing is rooted in lack. It carries the subtle undertone that what you desire is separate from you. Living as if, however, sends out a frequency of completeness. It communicates to the universe that you and the wealth are already one. You are not seeking, you are expressing. And when your internal state matches the energy of abundance, the world cannot help but match that signal in return. Ask yourself now, deeply and honestly, if I truly believed I was already a millionaire, how would my choices look different today? Would I hesitate less? Would I walk taller, speak more confidently, give more generously? Would I stop obsessing over the how and start living with bold clarity? This is not an exercise in pretending. It is an invitation to shift into alignment with the version of you that already exists in the realm of faith. The content reminds us powerfully, faith without embodiment is incomplete. The law of assumption isn't just about what you believe, it's about what you live. You must think, act, and feel from the frequency of your new identity. That means setting boundaries that reflect abundance. Making decisions from a place of trust, not fear. Seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. Investing in yourself without waiting for permission. And allowing joy to guide your steps, knowing that wealth is already supporting you behind the scenes. And here's the truth that many forget, this isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily devotion. Embodying the millionaire mindset is a lifestyle, not a moment. You must recommit each morning, through your thoughts, your language, and your habits. Some days, it will feel easy. Other days, you'll need to replay this message, sit with the words, and re-anchor yourself in the truth. But each time you return, each time you remember, your alignment deepens. And as your alignment strengthens, your external world catches up. This is why repetition matters. It's not about hype, it's about saturation. The more you let these truths wash over you, the more your subconscious accepts them as fact. And once your subconscious accepts something, it becomes inevitable. That is the beauty of divine design. You don't have to fight for this reality. You just have to become one with it. And that begins, again and again, with embodying the truth of who you already are. So let this be your mantra throughout the day: I am already living in overflow. I am already supported. I am already a millionaire. These aren't just words. They're signals. And each time you say them, feel them, and act from them, you send a new wave into the field of creation. And creation responds. It always does. Chosen one, your assignment now is not to wish. It is to walk. Not to wait, but to live. Not to hope from a distance, but to move from embodiment. The world doesn't change because you want it to. It changes because you have become the version of you that commands that change. And now that you are living this truth, there's something more powerful awaiting you. Because belief without transformation can still be fragile. But belief combined with inner healing is unshakable. The next part of your journey is releasing the limiting beliefs that have quietly sabotaged your progress. To fully step into abundance, you must confront and dismantle the lies that once told you you couldn't. You must set yourself free from the past to fully embrace the wealth that is already yours. It's time to release what no longer serves you and make space for a new, empowered belief system. Your millionaire self is waiting, fully healed, fully alive, and fully in charge. Before the abundance you've been promised can flood into your life, there's something that must be confronted, not outside of you, but deep within your mind and heart. It's not the economy that has held you back. It's not a lack of intelligence, opportunity, or favor. It's something far more subtle and far more dangerous: limiting beliefs. These are the quiet, consistent thoughts that have lived in the background of your mind for years, maybe even decades. Whispers like, "I'm not good enough, I can't handle money, wealth corrupts people," or "maybe success just isn't for someone like me." They masquerade as facts, but they are false identities. They are not your truth. They were never spoken over you by God. They are the lies whispered into your soul by fear, past experience, and societal conditioning, and now it's time to break their hold over you. Most of these beliefs didn't begin with you. They were planted in childhood, shaped by environments that constantly echoed scarcity and shame around money. Maybe you grew up hearing your parents argue about bills, or watched them struggle just to get by. Maybe the church you attended taught that humility was tied to poverty, and that those who had money must have compromised their faith. Or maybe you were surrounded by a culture that demonized the wealthy, painting them as greedy, disconnected, or unethical. Over time, these messages didn't just pass by you, they became part of your subconscious blueprint. And without realizing it, you've been building your life on that faulty foundation. But what if you paused and truly asked yourself, who told me that I wasn't worthy of wealth? Who decided that money would change me for the worse? Was it God, or was it the wounded people around me who hadn't yet experienced healing? This is where your freedom begins. The moment you start to question the origin of your beliefs is the moment you reclaim your authority to rewrite them. The voice of truth doesn't condemn, it liberates. And the truth is this: you were never created to live in lack. Your identity as a child of God includes stewardship, abundance, and overflow, not as tools for pride, but as instruments for purpose. Romans 12 verse 2 reminds us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This is not a suggestion, it's a divine strategy. Your transformation won't come through hustle or striving. It will come through mental renewal. Through changing the story you've told yourself and replacing it with the truth God has always spoken. And what is that truth? Ephesians 3 verse 20 answers clearly, "Now to him who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly above all that we ask or think, God's capacity to bless you is far beyond your imagination." The only barrier that stands between you and divine abundance is the belief that it's not for you. But the moment you release that belief is the moment the floodgates begin to open. And so, what do you do with the space left behind when those old beliefs are removed? You fill it with truth. This is where affirmations become more than just feel-good phrases, they become spiritual declarations. Start speaking these words over your life with boldness and authority. I am a millionaire. I am worthy of wealth. I am ready to receive divine abundance. These aren't empty affirmations, they are keys. And every time you speak them, you're turning the lock on a door that once seemed sealed. These statements are not just for your ears, they are for your spirit. They rewire your subconscious, anchor your energy into faith, and begin attracting the reality you've long desired. But understand this, transformation is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. Each time an old thought resurfaces, "You're not capable, this is too good to be true, don't get your hopes up," you must meet it with truth. Gently, but firmly. That is not who I am anymore. You have the authority to reject what no longer serves your calling. You are no longer available for small thinking, for shame-based decisions, for spiritual guilt about wealth. Your abundance is not greed. It is not vanity. It is obedience to the call to live fully in your God-given potential. Let this truth settle deeply into your heart. Your freedom doesn't begin when the money arrives. It begins the moment your mind is released from bondage. You are not your past. You are not your upbringing. You are not the voice of doubt. You are a chosen vessel, designed for overflow. Every belief you release is a chain broken. Every truth you embrace is a step into your new reality. And the more your mind aligns with truth, the faster your reality transforms to reflect it. So if you've ever felt unworthy of wealth, it's time to cancel that agreement. If you've ever feared that money would corrupt you, declare instead that money in your hands will do miracles. If you've ever felt small around success, speak now that success is your assignment. The lies that limited you no longer get to define you. You've outgrown them. And with every affirmation, every scripture, every moment of clarity, you are building a new internal reality, one that welcomes the external wealth you've always known was coming. Chosen one, don't delay this inner work. It is the foundation for every other shift that follows. Because before you step into physical overflow, you must first become spiritually and mentally prepared to receive it. Wealth is not just a resource, it's a responsibility. And the clearest sign that you are ready is not how hard you work, but how free your mind is. Let the healing begin. Let the chains fall. Let your mind be renewed. Because when your thoughts are healed, your hands will have no trouble holding what God is already sending. And once the limiting beliefs have been dismantled, what comes next is powerful. It's time to rise into a new frequency, a vibration that matches the wealth you are now ready to embody. Because belief alone is not enough. To manifest wealth, you must also align with its energy. Your next step is energetic synchronization, learning how to think, feel, and act from the vibration of abundance. The millionaire identity you've just reclaimed must now be lived in every breath. Chosen one, by now, you've made powerful declarations. You've begun to release the limiting beliefs that once held you back. But to truly manifest your millionaire reality, there is one spiritual key you must now turn with unwavering intention, aligning with the energy of wealth. Because wealth is not just a goal, or even a number in your bank account, it is a frequency. It is a vibration. It is an energetic field that surrounds, responds, and replicates itself according to what you consistently think, feel, and do. And just like a radio cannot pick up a station unless it's tuned to the right frequency, you cannot fully receive abundance until you've adjusted your inner dial to match the energy of wealth itself. Let's begin with your thoughts. Every thought you think carries a charge. If your mental track still includes phrases like, "I can't afford that," "I don't have enough," or "money is always tight," then you are broadcasting scarcity, even if you're declaring abundance in your prayers. And the universe, which responds not to your words but to your frequency, will mirror that scarcity back to you. So instead, you must begin rewiring your thoughts to affirm wealth is already present. I have more than enough. Money flows to me naturally and consistently. Every day, I attract new streams of income with ease. These thoughts don't just sound nice, they emit a vibration that shifts your entire energy field into alignment with prosperity. But thoughts alone aren't enough. What truly powers your frequency is how you feel. Emotions are the magnets of the soul. When you feel worried, stressed, or fearful about money, your vibration drops. And that drop sends out an energetic signal of resistance, blocking the very thing you desire. So it's time to cultivate emotions that match abundance, deep gratitude, steady peace, and joy. Not because everything looks perfect, but because in your spirit, you know it's already done. Feel wealthy now. Celebrate your current blessings now. Speak to your finances with love, not frustration. Because when your emotions are in harmony with your vision, you become a magnet for miracles. Next comes action. The way you move through your life either supports your alignment with wealth or sabotages it. Do you avoid looking at your bank account, or do you engage with your finances from a place of clarity and gratitude? Do you spend from fear and lack, or from confidence and intention? True wealth alignment means taking action as if you already are the person who has received. That includes budgeting wisely, investing in yourself, making bold yet grounded financial decisions, and refusing to shrink back out of fear. Ask yourself daily, what would the wealthy version of me do in this situation? Then do it. Even small shifts in behavior signal to the universe that you are living in the vibration of abundance, and abundance will meet you there. But alignment is not just internal. It's also environmental. Your physical surroundings carry energetic weight. Clutter, disorganization, and chaos drain your energy and disrupt the flow of prosperity. So create space that reflects who you are becoming. Keep your home clean, your workspace inspiring, your living area infused with intention. Add visual affirmations of wealth. Surround yourself with symbols of elegance, growth, and excellence, not as a show, but as a signal to your spirit. Equally important is your spiritual environment. Who are you listening to? What voices fill your ears each day? If you are constantly feeding on fear-based news or toxic conversations about how hard money is to come by, then you're polluting your energetic atmosphere. Choose instead to consume content, conversations, and teachings that support your new vibration. You're not just shifting your mindset, you're shifting your entire ecosystem. Let this be your guiding revelation: the universe does not respond to what you wish for. It responds to who you are being. If you think like someone who is abundant, feel like someone who is abundant, act like someone who is abundant, and live in a space that reflects that truth, then wealth has no choice but to find you. Because you've become a living embodiment of the frequency that abundance is drawn to. It's not about faking it. It's about faithing it, living each day as though your vision is your reality because, spiritually, it already is. So ask yourself, what frequency am I currently sending out into the world? Is it lack or abundance? Fear or faith? Resistance or readiness? If your answers challenge you, take that as a divine invitation, not to condemn yourself, but to recalibrate. Because the good news is this: your frequency is always within your control. You get to choose your thoughts. You get to steward your emotions. You get to take aligned action. And with every choice you make, you are either reinforcing the vibration of wealth or the vibration of delay. The power is in your hands. Let this section be your sacred checkpoint. A moment to pause and ask, am I living as someone who is already fully provided for by God? Because that is the truth. You are not alone. You are not unsupported. You are not behind. You are walking in step with the divine flow of provision, and now, your energy must mirror that truth. Speak as if it's done. Feel as if it's here. Move as if it's normal. Because when you align your internal world with the frequency of wealth, the external world has no choice but to respond in kind. And now that you've attuned your energy to wealth, it's time to walk in trust. Trust in the process. Trust in the unfolding. Trust that everything you've aligned with is already being orchestrated in the spiritual realm. The next step of your journey is not about doing more, it's about letting go and allowing the divine timing of God to bring everything into perfect manifestation. You've realigned your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and even your environment with the frequency of wealth. You've declared boldly that you are already a millionaire. You've released limiting beliefs and replaced them with divine truth. But now, the real test begins. Can you trust the process, even when you don't yet see the evidence? Can you rest in the knowing, even when the world around you hasn't yet caught up to your inner shift? Because this is where most people fall short, not in the dreaming, not in the declaring, but in the waiting. The most essential truth to embrace now is this: the how is not your responsibility. You are not here to micromanage the miracles. The method, the timeline, the mechanics, those are in God's hands. Your only task is to believe. That is the spiritual posture that unlocks everything. The moment you release your grip on control and surrender the details to the divine, you allow the universe to work. You stop interfering with the orchestration and start flowing with it. Every time you try to force things, by overanalyzing, doubting, or panicking because the money hasn't shown up yet, you're essentially jamming the signal. You shift out of alignment and back into fear. But when you walk in trust, you create space. You open a sacred vacuum that only faith can fill, and only God can respond to. As Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 declares, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and He will make your path straight." You don't have to understand every step. You only need to trust that each step is being guided, perfectly timed, perfectly placed, and perfectly aligned with your purpose. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to fully let go. To release the urge to control, to stop asking when, and instead walk with a calm heart that whispers, "It is already done." That's not blind faith, it's the deepest kind of spiritual intelligence. Hebrews 11 verse 1 says it best: "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." That means your inner certainty is the proof. Not your bank balance. Not your calendar. Your peace is your proof. Your confidence is your confirmation. Your unshakable belief is the key. This is not passive waiting. Trusting the process doesn't mean sitting still and hoping. It means walking forward boldly, but without the frantic need to control. It's inspired action over desperate movement. It's showing up with presence, not pressure. It's choosing peace over panic, again and again. Because you understand that the universe is not delaying your wealth, it's preparing the best possible path to deliver it. Let this truth sink in: every time you choose trust over doubt, you speed up the manifestation. Every time you act from faith instead of fear, you realign your reality with abundance. But every time you doubt, just a little, the signal gets weaker. The vibration lowers. The breakthrough stalls. Not because God is punishing you, but because doubt introduces static into your spiritual transmission. So stop letting the delay define the outcome. Delay is not denial. It's divine calibration. And while you wait, build rituals that keep you anchored in trust. Begin each day with the affirmation, "It is done. I am a millionaire." Speak it with the authority of someone who is not requesting, but receiving. Let your actions flow from intuition, not insecurity. When you feel led to move, move. But when you feel called to rest, rest. That too is part of trust. Replay the message, soak your subconscious in truth, surround yourself with people and environments that reflect your new reality. Because staying in alignment is not a one-time act, it's a lifestyle of faith. And most importantly, stop trying to predict how it will happen. You are not God. You are a co-creator. Let Him do what only He can do. The universe is not limited by your understanding. Just because you can't see the connections being made doesn't mean they're not happening. Trust that behind the scenes, everything is falling into place. That the resources, people, timing, and miracles are already en route. That your only job is to stay open, stay faithful, and stay ready. Chosen one, this is the space where the shift becomes permanent. The place between declaration and demonstration. The season where trust is not an option, it's the only path forward. The more you rest in that trust, the faster your reality will align. Let go of the need to figure it all out. Let go of the fear that you're being forgotten. You are not. You are being positioned, refined, and elevated. So pause here, and breathe this in. Your millionaire identity already exists in the spiritual realm. It is done. It is written. It is yours. And now, every day you walk in trust, you are walking toward its physical manifestation. Keep your vibration high. Keep your heart steady. Keep your mind anchored in truth. And now that you've surrendered the need to control the how, it's time to step into the next level of manifestation, by learning how to act from the place of certainty. Because trust without action is incomplete. Let us now walk boldly into the reality you've already claimed. Let us embody the actions of someone who already holds the wealth heaven has prepared. The next step awaits. Let's move forward, fully aligned, deeply trusting, and completely ready. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey when words are no longer enough. When affirmations must become actions. When belief must take on form. This is that moment, chosen one. This is where you no longer say, "I am a millionaire," as a distant hope, but live it as your present reality. The shift from speaking to embodying begins here. Because the most powerful transformation in manifesting wealth is not in the declaration, it's in the demonstration. Not in waiting for proof, but in walking like the promise has already been fulfilled. Acting as if is not pretending. It's not delusion. It's spiritual alignment in motion. It is the conscious choice to think, speak, and act in agreement with the reality you believe is already yours in the unseen realm. You are not trying to become someone you're not. You are allowing the truest version of yourself, the wealthy, divinely appointed, purpose-filled version, to rise and lead your life. You are not faking. You are syncing your energy with heaven's reality. This kind of embodiment begins first with the mind. Your inner conversation must match the identity you've claimed. No more wondering, when will it happen, or, am I there yet? Instead, you affirm, I am already wealthy. I am already supported. It is already done. You don't wait for signs. You become the sign. You don't watch for the open door. You walk like it's already opened. Next comes your language. Every word you speak sends out a frequency. And when your vocabulary is rooted in lack, you unknowingly reinforce that vibration. So phrases like, I can't afford that, or, I wish I could, must be replaced with words of alignment and authority. You begin saying, I choose what aligns with my frequency, or, I manage my wealth with gratitude and purpose. This isn't about pretending to be rich, it's about speaking like someone who is already operating from clarity, stewardship, and peace. Then, your behavior must follow. Every action becomes a statement of faith or a confession of fear. So you ask yourself daily, how would the millionaire version of me respond? Would you procrastinate or take decisive action? Would you settle for what's cheap or choose what reflects value and purpose? Would you hesitate out of fear or move boldly in alignment with your abundance? This shift is not about reckless spending or showy displays. It's about dignity, intention, and the inner certainty that you are living from provision, not scarcity. Your environment matters too. Your surroundings must echo your new energy. When your space is cluttered, chaotic, or neglected, it subconsciously signals a life out of alignment. But when your home, your workspace, your digital life, even your wallet, reflects order, intentionality, and abundance, you reinforce the belief that you are already walking in wealth. Clean your space. Eliminate what no longer serves. Surround yourself with objects, words, and visuals that affirm the life you're living into. And above all, make it daily. Acting as if isn't a one-time performance. It's a lifestyle. Replay the video often. Let the words reprogram your subconscious until they become your new default. Repeat your declaration, I am a millionaire. It is done. Not just as a ritual, but as a renewal. A daily recommitment to the energy and truth you've chosen to embody. Let your decisions, big or small, stem from that alignment. Every choice is either reinforcing your millionaire identity, or pushing it further away. Choose with care. Choose with conviction. Because here is the deeper truth: you don't act this way to trick the universe. You act this way because this is who you are. It's not acting, it's remembering. It's reconnecting with the version of you that already exists in heaven's timeline. And once you fully align with that self, the universe has no choice but to respond. So chosen one, the time for delay is over. No more living like your abundance is on the way. Live like it's already arrived. Speak like it. Think like it. Dress like it. Move like it. And your reality will follow. This is the embodiment of faith in action. This is the law of assumption taking shape through you. It is not wishful thinking. It is divine co-creation. And now that you're no longer just thinking or feeling, but acting as if, it's time to lock that alignment in place. Because manifestation doesn't end with one breakthrough. It continues through consistency. In the next phase, we'll explore how to stay aligned, even when life tests your belief. Because staying in the vibration of wealth, regardless of circumstance, is what solidifies your new reality. There's a reason why some people see glimpses of abundance, but never fully step into it. It's not because they're not deserving. It's not because they haven't done enough affirmations or watched enough spiritual videos. It's because they didn't stay in alignment. Chosen one, manifestation isn't a moment, it's a movement. It's not a spark that flashes once and fades. It's a steady fire that must be tended every day. The most powerful declaration, "I am a millionaire," means very little if it isn't maintained, protected, and lived out through consistency. The truth is, many start this journey strong. They declare boldly. They align their mindset. They act in faith. But when a bill arrives they weren't expecting, when a financial challenge knocks at their door, or when the outer reality doesn't shift as fast as the inner one, they falter. Doubt creeps in. Old thought patterns resurface. And just like that, they've slipped back into the energy of lack without even realizing it. The universe didn't change. The frequency did. This is why staying in alignment is everything. The process isn't about never being tested, it's about how you respond when the test comes. When an unexpected expense shows up, you have two choices. You can spiral into fear, frustration, and self-pity, or you can smile with unshakable calm and say, "This does not define me. I am still wealthy. I am still abundant." Because wealth isn't just about what you see, it's about what you know. To remain in the frequency of wealth, you must reinforce your belief daily. Not occasionally. Not only when things feel good. Every single day. Speak your affirmations aloud: "I am already wealthy. I am already abundant." These words are not just reminders, they're realignments. They are energetic recalibrations, steering you back to the vibration that unlocks overflow. Replay the video often. Not as entertainment, but as an energy reset. Let it soak into your subconscious until its truth becomes your default thought. Meditate, even for a few minutes, in a space of stillness where you feel the peace of already having more than enough. And most of all, practice gratitude. Not because everything is perfect, but because your energy is. Gratitude is the gateway emotion. It lifts you into alignment faster than anything else. When you give thanks for what you have, you create room for more. But beyond any practice, the true mastery is in integration. Staying in alignment means aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Your belief must say, "I am already wealthy." Your feelings must reflect peace, joy, and confidence, not worry or doubt. And your actions? They must match that belief. How you speak, how you spend, how you respond to challenges, all of it must radiate the truth of who you now are. You're no longer someone trying to become wealthy. You're someone who already is, and simply expressing it more fully each day. When belief, emotion, and behavior unite, manifestation isn't something you chase, it becomes a lifestyle. At that point, you no longer try to make things happen. You simply receive. You magnetize. The universe has no choice but to meet you at your level of alignment. So take this to heart, chosen one. When doubt whispers, answer with faith. When fear knocks, open the door with peace. When challenges come, respond with assurance that you are still on course. Because you are. Even when the path feels quiet. Even when it doesn't look how you expected. You are still aligned. And staying in that alignment, moment by moment, is what ensures that the wealth you've claimed becomes the wealth you live. And now, having built the habit of alignment, having fortified your frequency with faith and gratitude, you are ready for the final stretch. The culmination of all your declarations, beliefs, actions, and identity. You've laid the inner foundation. Now it's time to affirm your place boldly and walk into it completely. Chosen one, take a deep breath and recognize what has just happened. This wasn't just another motivational video. It wasn't just a sequence of teachings or affirmations. This was a sacred journey, a spiritual alignment between your soul and your divine inheritance. From the first moment you pressed play, something within you began to awaken. And now, as we arrive at the conclusion, we do so not with a sense of ending, but with a profound sense of fulfillment. You have crossed over from hoping to knowing, from wishing to declaring, from striving to embodying. That is not a small shift, it is the essence of transformation. Throughout this sacred experience, you were reminded of the law of assumption, a spiritual truth hidden in plain sight. What you assume to be true in your heart becomes your reality. But more than learning about this law, you embodied it. You declared with boldness that you are already a millionaire. You didn't wait for a bank statement or a contract. You shifted your identity in the spirit, and because of that, your reality has no choice but to respond. You learned to think, act, speak, and feel from the identity of a person who already possesses abundance. You restructured your mental blueprint and began walking, talking, and deciding as someone who already has what they used to pray for. But most importantly, you realized that this journey is not about money, it never was. The true wealth you've tapped into is far greater. It's the richness of knowing who you are in the eyes of God. It's the freedom of no longer waiting for permission to live boldly. It's the strength of finally accepting that your purpose, your voice, your gifts, are meant to be used, multiplied, and poured out into the world. You are not merely stepping into a new financial season. You are stepping into the most powerful, elevated, and divinely aligned version of yourself. So as we close this moment, let's make one final declaration together. Not as a hope, not as a wish, but as a decree from heaven to earth, it is done. I am already a millionaire. Say it again, with every fiber of your being. Let it echo beyond your mind and settle deep into your spirit. This is not just a statement. This is a spiritual imprint. A signature in the heavens. When you say it, you are not asking, you are aligning. You are not requesting, you are receiving. You are not waiting, you are walking. Now, let's anchor this energy with action. If this message stirred something in you, if it shifted something in your mindset or your spirit, affirm it. Like this video not just as support, but as a spiritual agreement. Subscribe to this channel to stay connected with messages that continue to water the seed of faith you've planted. And if this resonated deeply, declare it in the comments by writing 77, a number of spiritual completion, alignment, and covenant. By doing this, you aren't just interacting with a video. You are declaring to the universe, I am ready. I have claimed it. I am walking in it. More than that, don't let this be a one-time moment. Let it be a rhythm. Replay this message whenever your energy dips or your doubt creeps in. Allow the frequency of these words to saturate your subconscious. Each time you hear them, you are reprogramming your internal operating system. You are reminding your soul that this isn't a dream, it's your reality in motion. That's the power of spiritual repetition. That's how faith takes root and becomes a lifestyle. And if you feel a divine nudge, a spiritual stirring within you, to give, let it be from a place of joy, not obligation. There's a super thanks button for those who feel led to sow into this mission, not because the video demands it, but because your heart is overflowing and you want to give thanks for what you've just received. This is a spiritual principle. Giving is not payment, it is praise. It is the act of saying, God, I trust you with my seed. I believe you will multiply it, not just for me, but through me. So as this chapter closes, walk forward with your head high and your spirit grounded. You are no longer the person who wondered if abundance was for you. You are no longer waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. Your presence, your story, your breakthrough, it is already written. You are already aligned. You are already chosen. You are already wealthy. And as long as you stay in that alignment, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything else will fall into place. Not by striving, but by being. Not by chasing, but by attracting. Not by controlling, but by allowing. Chosen one, your new life isn't coming. It's here. Your millionaire reality isn't something you wait for. It's something you embrace now. Let your words, your gratitude, your confidence, and your presence testify to that truth. May this message mark the beginning of a new lifestyle, one of overflow, alignment, and radical trust. And as always, it is done. You are already a millionaire. Walk like it. Live like it. And above all, believe it.